Dici? No, cazzo, mi dispiace. Porca troia. Incredibile.
So welcome to the post-Grand Prix press conference here at the TISO British Grand Prix in 2025. Certainly a dramatic day for most of you up there and also for a few more who aren't here. But in the end, we've got some incredible stats. We've got 11 different winners here, 5th different winner in a row this year. And that today was Marco Bezzecchi for Aprilia Racing, taking your first win with the factory. And in second place, Johann Zarco, becoming the first Honda rider to take back-to-back podiums since 2021 when it was Marc. And Marc, you're also on the podium after even more adventures than most this afternoon, but a great recovery in the end to take third and those all-important points for Ducati Lenovo. So Marco, we'll start with you. How does it feel to be back on top? It's the simplest question of all to start before we do numbers or records or anything else.
Well, I feel, really good. I've been through some hard times, of course. The past season I've been struggling a lot. The beginning also of the year we struggle a bit, but when I decided to change everything with at the beginning of this season with Aprilia, they trusted in me and we were working really hard. So yeah, amazing to be back on the podium and make it with a win is even better.
Definitely. We saw your celebration there as well. It seemed like a little bit of disbelief. You fell over. Only crash of the day for you, though. So not too much drama. But with Aprilia, obviously, there's a lot of headlines at the moment. It's almost the unbelievable chapter that's come up in this story that the bike is back on top. How does it feel after those struggles? You've got 2 new riders in the team this year. You've been given so much of that work in testing and everything else, and you've brought the bike to the top. Can you tell us a little bit more about that from your perspective? Because it's a new challenge for you as well to lead it.
Yeah, the celebration was a stupid move that me and Matteo Baiocco, we saw a video that was really funny, and there was this guy that was dancing like this. So I decided to make this kind of move. But anyway, yeah, it was tough. Aprilia has been working really hard. Of course, was not an easy winter, as everyone knows, for Jorge, for I, for example, here in this round. But leading the developing of the bike for me was not really easy, because it was my first time at the end in MotoGP that I was trying new parts and trying to say my comments and try to be precise as much as I could. So was not an easy pre-season, but we found a way. And yeah, then of course we have been through tough times during the first couple of races, but we saw that the speed sometimes was there. Of course, we're still struggling some areas of the riding, but at the end here everything went well.
Congratulations, 609 days, I think, since the top step in India. So enjoy the Prosecco even more than usual. And Johann, so you're back-to-back podiums, different conditions. You must be happy not only to do something for Honda that they've been missing for a little while, to get consistent podiums, also in such different conditions. You were just fast enough today to take second in that Grand Prix. How does that feel?
It feels pretty good, and the second start for me was pretty important, because the first start I could not gain positions and tire was sliding, but I knew that I have to control because the race would be long. But then on the second start I could find a better line and gain position, and from there was a key moment, because then my soft front tire gave me enough of confidence to overtake the other riders. And when Betz overtook me, I knew he's going to be super fast, because he was fast also yesterday in the sprint. And I tried to stay with him as long as possible, because he would get a good pace for me and try to save the tires, because this was still kind of a mission for this race. And then we were on the podium. Fabio got the technical problem, and from there I even thought maybe I can have a victory. Maybe Betz will totally struggle with the used tires, but no, he kept so constant. And me, I've been struggling a bit with the tires, but I could keep the pace and don't get caught by all the Ducatis that were on the back.
Well, all the Ducatis. It was quite a spectacular end to that race. It started with some serious drama for you as well, and Alex. We had double Marquez drama. Both of you allowed to restart. Talk us through your Sunday. All things considered, did you enjoy that it came down to a last lap battle and you came out on top at least? You got some good points and it wasn't a disaster.
Yeah, today Marquez family was the luckiest family because it's true that both of us, we did a mistake on that first race. But talking about my mistake, I was and I'm quite angry because the feeling on the first race was amazing. But I don't know why. We changed the tires, and on the second race, the feeling, well, we changed the bike. I take the other bike, and yeah, the feeling on the second race was a disaster. Even I did another mistake that I dropped positions, and then I tried to minimize the drama. I tried to minimize that problems and.
Little bit of drama still, in the best way.
Yeah, but when I saw that I was in front of Alex and Pecco, then I decided to stay on the bike and finish the race. And because it was that kind of days that, for example, when I crashed on turn 11, was just yesterday you were able to ride in a good way, but today that push, that how is in English, the wind was not constant.
Gust.
Gust.
That's in my accent, maybe gust.
Gust. So that gust was super difficult and yeah, just lucky, but I need to work on my mistakes.
Well, you say, I'll let them ask you about that quote, but you say you wanted to minimize the drama, but you did get elbows completely out and contact with Frankie, great battle at the end, nothing too over the line, fantastic for all of us. You could hear the woo, woo every time one of you went for the move. Did you just enjoy that as an opportunity to really race? Because you've won this year pretty much by yourself, or you've had a Sunday where you've needed to kind of bounce back and learn from it.
Yeah, it's true that I was trying to control, I saw that to catch or to take Zarco was too much risk. I tried, but I did a few mistakes and just I lose the front another time, and then I tried to control behind, but they were much faster than me in the end because I started to struggle a lot with the front. Then that last lap, okay, was a podium. Podium is a podium.
Well, it was great to watch, so thanks for the show, as ever. Have we got any questions from the floor?
Imre Pavlovic from Motorsport Aktuell. Here, I have a question to Marco, and I have a question to Marc. So, Marco, when you decided to leave the VR46 team and go to Aprilia, did you reset your whole mindset and say you start a complete new chapter? And is this what you reached here, what you have planned when you did that? And the question to Marc. Marc, you said that the first tire felt pretty good. The second was critical. Do you have any explanation for that? Thank you.
Well, first of all, it was a difficult decision, of course, but I think that was the time for me to try to find some new challenges. I wanted to be a factory rider really bad, so when Aprilia gave me the possibility, I decided to approach this new chapter. At the end, I knew I didn't reset my mentality or my targets. I just knew that was going to take some time and was going to take some work. I tried just to don't give up, even if everything was looking sad, because we passed some sad days. But at the end, working and working, we were able to find also some good results. So this is the result of the work.
Yeah, but from first race to the second, I don't want to say that are the tires. I don't want to say that that was the bike, and I don't want to say that it was me. We need to analyze first of all because on the first race I feel super good, but for the second one, we changed the bike, we changed the tires, and I was coming from a crash. So maybe also it was more stiff, and then the bike was turning less for that reason. So I need to analyze well and then try to understand. But it's true that in a very, very bad feeling, we finished in the podium. So result happy. The day I'm happy because we need to keep working.
Hi guys, Lewis Duncan from Crash.net. I've also got a question for you, Marco. You've said all weekend about how proud you are to be an Aprilia rider. So how proud are you to prove that maybe performance clauses don't mean so much?
Well, of course I'm proud, I'm happy. But I think that the whole factory has to be proud. Was not, as I said already many times, was not an easy period for them with the injury, of course, of Jorge that was their, let's say, main, I don't want to say main rider, but almost, because he is the world champion. So yeah, it was not an easy beginning for them, but from my side, I just tried to work as much as I could to bring them what they deserve. So, quella era mia, Sì, ma dammene una nuova, cazzo.
I don't think it was a robbery. There must be a good reason.
Yep. Hello, gentlemen. Frank Wing from Ziggo Sport. A question to Marco and one for Johann over here, guys. Marco, you said after the race, during the interview, you said you wanted to thank the people who kept supporting you. Were there people who started doubting you, and how did you feel about that, if that happened? And my question to Johann, obviously, the emotional win in France was very special, but looking at, let's say, the sporting side of things, was this more important than the win in a wet race in France?
Allora, let's say that in sports, I'm sure that also this guy behind me knows when you are in tough times, there are many people that are doubting on you. Of course, the maximum that you can do is try to keep yourself close to the people that know what you are capable of. But sometimes you also try to don't do it, but sometimes you also doubt on yourself when nothing is going well. So it wasn't easy, but fortunately I have so many good people around me, starting from my team, of course, but also all the academy, Vale, but all the staff from the academy is amazing. But also my close friends. At the end, I'm a normal 26 years old guy with my friends. I can speak about everything. So the real friends are something really special. So yeah, thanks to them.
It's two different things, but confirm a good performance on the dry condition, even if it's a big track, and I was not so much confidence at the beginning of the race. I mean, I was expecting to, hoping to stay with the top guys or top 6, because the first start was not easy, and but second start, everything happened much better, and then my pace was also very good. Able to follow Bez, I think, was one of the key points to make it. And yeah, that just this was enough to have the podium. It's a bit like in Le Mans, this feeling of you are leading, and just by doing your things, you gain advantage and you save the win. So I cannot say it's better than the victory, because nothing is better than a victory. But clearly, I got some emotion after the checkered flag, because what a big relief to to still be there and get points for the team, for Honda, build what we are building and give so much hopes. And we know that some other hard time can come, because the beginning of the week was not easy neither. But at the end, we finished with the smile, so we take it.
Hi, over here. Matt Oxley from the Oxley Bomb MotoGP podcast. Question for Mark, over here. Hi, Mark. When you crashed at the lap 2, lap 3, whenever it was, you obviously went a long way on the bike, on the ground, and it looked like you head-butted the foam barriers, and it looked like you almost saw it coming and kind of... Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You tell us about it. It's not a normal thing to do in MotoGP, right? Headbutt a barrier.
No, I mean, even 2 minutes ago I was thinking on that. I mean, it's like a water park, you know? When you are there, I was sliding and I saw like a wall, but I knew that it was soft. And then just when I saw that I will impact, you need to be strong and go against. And I mean, it was not nice because it was after crash, but that moment is not scary. It's just, you know that you will stop. But yeah, as I say, was a... Yeah, I visto. Malamoto, the bike was okay to continue, just the front screen. But that red flag helps. I mean, I was the luckiest rider out there today, because that red flag gave me a second chance. But I need to avoid these mistakes, because today on that first race was another, that first laps was super good feeling.
David, Paddock podcast back here. Question for all three. We saw Fabio Quartararo lose the win because of a right eye device. We saw Alex crash at the start because he's trying to release the right eye device. Le Mans, it's very difficult to release them here also. What are your opinion on right eye devices? Should they be, are they dangerous or are they just unnecessary?
Well, Alex, honestly, I don't know if he crashed for the front device. At the end, it can happen to crash in the first corner after the start. This, honestly, only Alex can know this. So, regarding for me, the devices are cool. I mean, I started the MotoGP when the devices were already in there. So, for me, it's okay.
Yeah, I like also the devices. And as discussed after Le Mans, we need to vote, or decide all riders which tracks maybe we need it or not for the start. Like Le Mans, I think can be a good solution to not use it. Here, the first corner is not so, it's quite fast, but we can brake enough to disengage, or if you do not disengage 100%, you can disengage a bit later at turn 3. So yeah, I think Alex will answer that maybe better than us, but also the choice of the front tire, it was windy, a bit cold. We can have this kind of mistake when you push a lot. So devices for the development has been very interesting, and I think it's still good to keep it, because we learn so many things about what we can extract from the bike.
For me, the devices makes the MotoGP easier to ride. I mean, without devices, it's much more difficult. Means safety and safe. This is something that, for example, for some starts, like Le Mans, maybe here, that first corner is a bit unsafe, because also the riders are braking in a strange way. And we saw last year also here, I don't know if you were there, no? Somebody impact another rider, because we brake in a strange way. But in another hand, today with that rear device was super windy and the bike was more stable. But what is true is that makes the MotoGP easier and less technical.
Hi guys, Adam Wheeler. A question for whoever has an opinion. We saw some more fantastic racing today at Silverstone. Do you guys rate this racetrack for action? I mean, it looks difficult for you. I mean, we saw many mistakes and close action. What's your evaluation?
It's very beautiful, the track. This for sure. So, what was really nice was that the level this year in a so long track was really close between all the riders and many manufacturers also. So, was cool to don't see. I'm sorry for them, but to don't see 6 Ducati in front. Of course, the strongest rider like Marc, Alex, Pecco are always there, but was a little bit more of a mix. Of course, all the Ducatis were strong, but also Honda, Aprilia, Yamaha, as you see, Fabio. So this was cool.
I think it's a little bit like Phillip Island. It's a track where there is very fast corners. So you can have differences of speed, and that's why we have opportunity or overtakes. And also because of the wind, when you can hide yourself from the wind, the rider in front of you is kind of fighting against the wind, and in that moment you do a big difference of speed, and that's why I think there is this opportunity of overtakes, and it's kind of, spectacular. It looks like an old school track, and me, I like it, even if you don't have the feeling, it's pretty hard to handle.
It depends of the conditions, because as we see last year, the race was just all Ducatis there in the front, but today with that windy conditions, cold conditions, the tire compound in the front, soft was too soft, medium was not working perfect, maybe for that wind. So was that the mix of conditions that makes that you cannot ride on the limit, and then as we see, many different manufacturers were there. The track is super nice, one of the most difficult, but also today was nice to see different manufacturers there. But in the end, they are taking profit from that concessions, that advantage, that as the rules allowed them to keep improving, that makes the championship more interesting for the future.
Niki Kovac from MotoGP Hungary. Maybe we want to wait till...
No.
No? Okay, okay, I can, okay.
I think the opposite.
Question for all of three of you. Alex was quite critical with safety of the track in turn 1. He said he was really scared and his crash was quite scary, and if it wasn't the first lap after the start with higher speed, it could have been dangerous like Portimao, and he also remembered as Carlos Tatai's crash. So what do you think of this?
Because the wall is too close?
And because the gravel is not enough.
But there are air fence.
It's full asphalt. It's full asphalt. They need to put gravel there. I saw it. Because if not, you are behind the bike all the time, and if the bike hit the wall, makes sense, and it's completely true. Yeah, Maximilian.
I didn't saw really well the crash, but I trust what he say.
Yeah, same. Need to see it in detail, and it's true that if you crash when you are coming from a full lap, then he can slide much more far. So let's see.
Digo, Rueda partida última.
Uva castaña. ¿Has visto no? Today is my day. I say victory of Rueda and a podium of Máximo.
Yeah, I was going to say, for context, anyone who can't see, the Moto3 races in front of these guys as well. Was that the final question from the block?
No,
Go for it.
Sorry.
Michel Turcot, Motor Revue and l'équipe. Question for you, Marc. Sorry to disturb, to enjoy the race.
sorry for my...
Could you compare the mistake you have done today with the one you did in Austin and the one you did in Jerez? First question. And second one, after your crash, did you never thought to start again, to start the race with a soft front? Because it seems that it was an advantage for the one who chose this one during the first laps.
Yeah, no, it was completely different mistake because today was a reason that it was that windy, and I didn't make anything strange, but just hit a lot the wind, and maybe I didn't consider that wind, but didn't consider that wind and that medium tire that I already crashed yesterday. Friday with that medium front. That the feeling was not the best. And then I didn't consider to race with the soft front because for my riding style and for the way we have the bike, didn't finish the race.
I have a flight.
Vale.
Okay, okay, go for your flight. I think that's it. Congrats, guys. Thanks for the show.